what did your dad do during World War II, the Berlin airlift, and how was he involved with the Air Force missile program that he helped in early stages?
My father was an electrician when the war began. He went like so many people. He had made it. He was the first one to make it through high school, and then enlisted and became a pilot. Was selected for the pilot program. Was a B-17, B-29 pilot. Was, as I said, riffed at the end of the war when we demobilized because he didn't have a college education. Brought back in 1947. He did a couple things. One that I'm very proud of is that he went to night school for 26 years off and on, whenever he could fit it in between his assignments. He graduated from college my senior year in high school. And it was, for those of you who've ever seen the movie The Great Santini, it's old one.
I love it. Robert
Yeah, it was one of the great moments of my life when my dad finally graduated and we went to the ceremony. It was at the University of Omaha. He was stationed at SAC headquarters. We sat in the basketball court and sitting on the bleachers. He walks up, gets the diploma, breaks out of line, and walked across the basketball court directly toward me, and I was sitting there going, no, he is not really going to do this. But he did. He walked up and stuck the diploma in my face. He said, you can do anything you want in this country, and don't you ever forget. But the second thing that he did was, when he went back in, when he was allowed to go back in 1947, he was just continuously deployed for years. So he was up in Alaska on strategic bombing, bomber bases, polar threat from the Soviets. He was in a Berlin airlift. He was in England. He was stationed at Scott Air Force Base, Illinois, when we were up in St. Joe, Missouri. And he used to, there were weekends when he would drive 380 miles one way each weekend just to be home on the weekends. Then he was transitioning into jets for Korea, had a cockpit accident, blew his eardrums out, and got grounded, which was one of the most fearful days of my life. When my dad came home, and my mother was saying, they took his wings away. You know, don't talk about it. You know, just don't mention it to him. He loved to fly more than anything. And he walked into the door, coming back, and he was wearing his uniform. I could see, you know, they allow you to keep whatever status you earn in the military on your uniform, even though you can't fly. So he walks in the door, he's got his wings on. I turn around and say, hey, Dad, they let you keep your wings. Wrong thing to say. But after Sputnik went up in 1957, and we realized that we were truly in a national crisis, and I write about this in the book, my dad was one of the people who were selected to go out and open up what became Vandenberg Air Force Base today. It was Camp Cook. It was an old Army training base from World War II, and then a National Guard base, and then it became Cook Air Force Base briefly. And my dad put in the first Atlas missile for the United States Air Force. He wrote the book on how to coordinate the structure and the rest of that. And he later commanded the only composite squadron in the Air Force. He had Atlas doors and what they call Scout Junior missiles, and that's where I really saw his leadership shine, because he took over a squadron where the success rate on the Atlas launches was only 11%. We had lots of problems in our missile program, ICBM programs at the beginning of them, and he had 11 per 11 perfect launch while he was commander.